Hi guys, buckle up because this week we do not have Stephanie. She is currently traveling America. It's just gonna be me today. Sorry about it. Right now I'm going to recap on episodes 14 through episode 19. And I have my notes. I actually wrote notes this time. So, I would like to start with my notes from Thursday, which is episode 14. And this is the episode coming into after Love Letters. And as we know, Melanie and Sincere have basically recoupled and has left Sol and Caleb basically as the default couple. And we had a vote, I believe, that night. And it basically left Sol and Caleb vulnerable because they are now in a default couple. So they're in a default couple now. And it was literally 5 freaking minutes that people voted on their favorite couple. And they were literally part of that vote. So I have what is the word? I have some issues with that because I feel like it was unfair for them to be included in the poll because they were literally a couple for less than 5 minutes. And it put Sol and Caleb on the chopping block for next episode. And this is episode 14. Anyway, so this is like the episode where the Islanders get to choose who gets sent home. And so based on who's the favorite couples, they get saved. So the ones that are in the bottom are Kenzie and Corbin, it's Sol and Caleb, and it's Gabrielle and Jen. So we already know what happens. The girls have to decide for which boy to go home, and the boys decide which girl to send home. And I felt like this whole episode really annoyed me because the boys ended up sending home Sol, and Sincere was the one to say it. I'm really hoping that the producers are the ones that made him say it instead of him choosing to, because I didn't love that he got to basically send her home in a way while also playing her. I really believe that he played her because he gave no intention to her that he was going to get back with Mels. He made Sol feel very secure in their relationship when he was missing Melanie the whole time, and did not tell that and be honest with Sol about it. So she could have at least tried to explore more. And I know that she wanted to be explored herself, but I feel like if she would have known that Sincere wasn't just all in on her, then she would have been maybe more open to more conversations. Anyway, so the girls decide to send Gabrielle home, and the boys are fuming about it. I did not appreciate the way the boys were handling all of this, to be honest. I felt like the way that they were speaking about the girls' decision, to me, it just felt kind of it had undertones of misogyny in it. So I basically did not like the way the boys were speaking about the girls' decision, because even if they made the so-called wrong decision, that's their decision to make as a woman, and they had their own choice to make. And even though I don't agree with their choice for picking Sol, I don't know who I would. It was just a really hard decision. Obviously they don't want to choose anybody. Why would they want to send anybody home? It's not something that they wanted to do. They were just the girls made the wrong decision. And it's just right now I'm just seeing just Zach, basically. I just didn't love how he reacted to it. because I'm like, it's their decision to make and you can't control that. And so that's where I just felt like the underlying misogynistic kind of vibe was coming through a little bit, because it's just like, it's their choice. You can say that you're not happy with it, but saying that they made the wrong decision and because it didn't align up with yours just doesn't really make sense to me, in my opinion. Anyways, so next day, the boys and girls are still kind of mad. This is episode 15. There's a challenge with the princesses. The girls are like pretending to be princesses, and the guys are like poking this kind of like slime ball thing. And then they get to like choose which princess. They have to like suck each other's toes, which was really freaking disgusting. Like, it was really nasty. And I do not love how they literally had the girls like sitting, and then the guys would go in a line and like suck their toes and then choose someone to kiss. Because if I was the girl last that had to kiss a man that just had a bunch of toes in his mouth, I think I would like throw up, like for reals, because that's just really nasty. And I mean, Bryce was having a time. He was enjoying it, I believe. So, good for Bryce. That was nasty, though. Didn't know he was really into feet. I think this is the challenge where, I don't know if it's Zach or if it's Bryce, that they say something about KC and his intentions. And I already knew whenever they said this, I was like, oh no, this is going to make Anaya, like, flip out and get in her head. And because she had already just had a situation with KC right before, and I forgot necessarily what it was about, but I know that they were like, it was about him wanting to explore. And I feel like Anaya is not being 100% honest about him wanting him and like quotation marks letting him explore, because she's saying this but her reaction is a little different than what she's saying. So I will give Casey the benefit of the doubt there, but it's ultimately his decision, and he just needs to get a backbone and be like, hey, I want to explore, and I am sorry if it does hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but like, this is the point of Love Island. And so I just really wish he could have said that and like stood on business basically and said how he felt, because how are you supposed to know how you feel about somebody if you never got to explore that, especially in a situation on Love Island? So yeah, I don't know. It was just like, it's not a good place right now in Anaya's brain. She's like really spinning a lot, and I just feel bad about it. Next episode is episode 17. Kata and Zach were being kind of weird because Zach did not love how Caleb and Kata kissed in the challenge. So it was a challenge that he was upset about, which is kind of funny because it's just like, bro, it's a challenge. And he was just kind of being a little jealous. He's a jealous man, right? And I understand, because of course Kata's gorgeous. And so Zach was kind of upset about Kata and Caleb having a little chat. And Zach asked Kata, like, hey, if he pulled you for another chat, would you talk to him again? And she said basically yes. And that they had already talked about this and they weren't closed off or anything like that. And I believe it was Zach who was bringing up like, oh, if another bombshell comes in, like something. And I believe me and Steph already talked about, like, I personally believe that Zach is bringing that up because he wants to know her reaction. And I feel like most people, from what the conversations I hear going around the internet, are basically saying that Zach is asking that for his own like he wants to do other things, but I really don't think so. I think he's always like, I think he's one of those guys that like really thinks like, okay, if I do this, what is she gonna do? And like thinks about it in that way, which is kind of rare. I feel like most guys, they just kind of think and then like, oh, afterwards, what is she gonna think after I did it? What if she finds out after? But he's more like a before kind of guy. So that was just like my opinion, and who knows what actually will happen. But so Zach and Kata were like, they're just not in a good spot at this point, and Zach's reaction just kind of made her feel a type of way about it, especially because she just wanted everything to be okay. And Zach's like, I guess his physical reaction, he just like wanted space from her a little bit and didn't want to give her like a full hug. And she wanted a full hug and like a kiss. And he was just not reciprocating the same energy. So it was just like a whole thing. And I understand like both of their sides a little bit, like, because it's hard to be like fully 100% like normal physical self whenever you're a little bit upset about something. So I do understand that with Zach. And I do understand Kata just wanting everything to be okay and just like skipping to him like not being mad about it, because really, I don't want to say he shouldn't be mad about it, but I don't know how to explain. Like, y'all are still open, so he can feel that way about it. I just wish he would tone it down a bit, like, because she's not doing anything wrong. The other thing is Melanie and Sincere are doing pretty good right now, as good as it can get, in my opinion. I just don't love them, not because of her, which I feel like I was right about that, because everybody didn't want me to like Melanie, and I was just kind of like, I just feel for her, and she was doing some like, I guess embarrassing type of things, with the challenges and reactions to the bombshells and stuff like that. But it was never outside of a challenge, and never never actually like making a connection and then lying about the connection, and then like going to the next person lying about how that connection's going, It was never like that. But with Sincere, it definitely was. And so I just hope that she can get out of this. But right now they're doing really good. And I wrote in my notes, I said I had to look up the word French fry. Honestly, I still don't even know what that means. I did look it up, and I don't understand like how it correlates to that action. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that as that. Still don't know what French fry means, but it's okay. I don't need to know. And then this is the part that kind of like annoyed me. I'm not gonna lie, this part with Zach bringing breakfast like so slow to Kata. It just feels like he was trying to punish her in a way, and I don't love that, because it's just like, if you want everything to be good with y'all, you really wanted to be with her, why are you doing things to like punish her in a way? If that's really what happened. If he was really slow, then it's just like bad timing, and like sorry about that, but it's just like everything that's going on in y'all's relationship, maybe try not to be so late on the breakfast. And yeah, didn't love that. Okay, now we're on episode 17. So this is when everything changes. Oh my god. Okay. I feel like in every Love Island like season, Casa Amor is where everything like changes. So it's like kind of like reading a book, and you're like in the beginning stages of a book. This is like everything that we were before up to this point is like getting to know all the characters of the book, and then Casa Amor is like the climax. It's basically like, okay, this is what's happening. This is like people's true colors. These are the couples that are going to last. These are the couples that are not going to last. And like every other season, this is where it goes down. So the girls think that the girls and the guys at this point think that there's going to be the heart rate challenge, and kind of, but so I just sorry, I'm like thinking back about it, and I just feel kind of bad because the girls, they were like planning all their dances, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so excited, I'm gonna do this move, I'm gonna do this move. Kenzie was planning all her splits and everything, so I feel bad, but I just keep thinking about Kenzie. Okay, so the girls are super excited, they're dressed in their little costumes, it's like Halloween night basically. And so the girls, they go to the middle of the villa, like where they usually have the heart rate challenge, and they're like, where are the boys at? I don't see them. And but what there's a ginormous gift box. So it's a ginormous gift box with a bow on it, and then they're just like, what is that? And they're like, are the boys in there? And they're kind of in there. It's a live stream of the boys in Casa Amor. So the boys are in Casa Amor. They're sitting like on the couch there, and the new Casa Amor girls walk in their costumes and greet the boys. And when I tell you, I was like, one, I was shocked. Very shocked. Two, I was so happy that the girls got to see this. And I read somewhere online that the reason that they did this was because of, like, basically all of the past seasons that Love Island has had Casa Amor. The boys, they have basically treated it like, you know, a bachelor party, and the girls, they were just kind of like they were being loyal to the guys that they were coupled up with, while the guy that they were coupled up with was not being loyal to them. And so, of course, for women, once we like see something, we're like, okay, like, I see what he's capable of. I can feel better about exploring, because he is exploring right away. So I really think that this was a good idea for the producers to do, because if we didn't see this, and if the girls didn't see this initially, I don't think they would have been open to exploring as much as they have. So yeah, this was like snaps, thumbs up, everything for the girls to see this. But obviously, like, what they saw was unfortunate for them, and I did feel bad because Kata and Kenzie and Anaya and basically everyone, it just sucks how the guys' reaction to everything was just a little too much. And I would say especially Corbin, and I believe it was KC, and they were doing like this little thing with their hands. I didn't love that. It just felt super gross to me. And Corbin basically saying Kenzie's out the window. And it's just like, bro, you haven't even talked to any of these girls yet, and you're literally just saying this based off looks. And that's when, I don't know. So Kenzie was like done. And Kenzie goes to like, what is the word? Like 0 to 100 really quickly. She's like, okay, he did this, I'm done. Never talking to him again. And basically all the new girls in Casa, one of their name is Amora, Jaden, I don't know if I'm saying this, Parmita? Jaden, Parmita, TT, and Sydney, and another girl, but I don't really want to talk about her. And then we have the dances. So they all do their dances, and It's all just really a lot. It was really hard to watch this. And I would like to know, Bryce's dance was really funny. He's like a little skinny thing. I just think it's really funny to watch that. So, love him for giving out the funsies in this episode. And then now we're going on episode 18. So, it's the next day. And the girls finally get to meet the guys. But I have some beef with the producers again. Because I'm like, okay, so they chose 12 guys. I do appreciate them choosing like 12 guys and letting them have more options with this. But the thing is that I did not love how they didn't get to have more than a day with them. They basically had like half a day and then had to choose 6 of the guys to stay and then 6 of the guys to go home. And I really just wish they had more time. Because it's just like, oh, how are you? What do you do? Like, just like the basics. They didn't actually get to have any deeper conversations than that. And I just did not love that. And so, the end of this episode, it's Bryce saying that he misses Trinity, and he's like in his little one meeting box, and he's like kind of like mopey and emo and all of that. So that was funny. But what was kind of upsetting is that at the same time that they're showing like Bryce missing Trinity, they showed Trinity and Corey making out in the photo booth. Yeah, obviously she can do like what she wants. It's just like, why they edit it like that? Anyways. Next is episode 19. So now we already know how Sincere is based off Pac's action. So I already knew he was going to explore as much as he could explore because he is Dora the Explorer. And I know he is because I've seen that show. So he is definitely exploring his connection with Amora. And they are kissing, they are cuddling, they're having conversations. He's saying that he likes her. She says that she likes him. And this whole time I'm just like, bro, I already know he's going to go back to Melanie. I don't think he's going to take back Amora. It's just like, I think I said something like, same shit, different day. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't have faith in that man. And just don't love it. And then we have Parmita and Corbin. They are like smitten for each other. They are kissing. They are vibing. They're like, we're twins. And honestly, they're a really cute couple. Like, she's tall, beautiful. She seems like really funny and sweet. And there's Corbin. But, you know, he's a tall man and like, he's a handsome man. I just like don't love him. But so yeah, they're doing really good. And there was this scene in this episode that I thought was funny. And it's whenever Corbin and Parmita are like taking selfies together, and then Caleb is like right next to them. Oh, what just happened with Kenzie, and then Kenzie choosing Corbin. So they're like in another little triangle, but this does not last long at all. Okay. Casey and TT talking. So the previous night before, it was Casey and TT sleeping together in the same bed, and they were cuddling and doing all that stuff and whatever. But this day, he wants to talk to Sydney. So he talks to Sydney. They have a little session together. He tells her he wants to sleep. He tells her that he wants her to sleep in his bed tonight. She says yes, and then he tries to talk to TT about it. But bro, he gets so like scared to like bring up any kind of confrontation or any type of conflict when he just needs to grow a backbone and just say it. He basically asks TT, and it's like, how do you feel about us sleeping with other people? And obviously she's gonna be like, no, because she's only been putting effort into him. She hasn't been showing any interest into anybody else, so why would it change all of a sudden because of his, he wants to see this other connection with Sydney. So TT ends up getting kind of upset about it, and he's like, okay, never mind, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But actually he does sleep with Sydney that night. And yeah, so another thing is, now we're going to switch to the villa, to the regular villa, and it's now Corey and Melanie talking, and he's basically telling her that she deserves better, which I 100% agree. And it just sucks to me because like I already know how this is gonna go down. Not because I have already seen it, but because I already know who she is, and I can tell that she's a very loyal person, and she wants to see this thing through with Sincere until like the very end, until she has like nothing else to give. It's like her and Anaya, they're like the same way, and I understand that because I have been there before in relationships, and it's just like you just want to see every little corner, every little ounce, and like just see if anything is left, like anything could save this relationship. And that's where she's at with Sincere, and her hearing from other guys, basically the way that Sincere is treating her is not right, that they would treat her better and all that stuff. So yeah, she's hearing that and she's like, okay, like I don't disagree with you, but does that mean that she's gonna explore with them? Who knows? So then we have Kada and Che talking to each other. Honestly, Che seems like a stand-up man. I really like him. He's really like funny, and I really like the questions that he asks, to be honest. He has really good questions. And Che, I think this is the second day. Yeah, it's the second day. So they have chosen it, and then they have chosen the guys, and now this is the second day of them being in the villa. So Che asks Kata, like, oh, can I have a kiss? Like, can I kiss you? And she's like, no, not yet. So here goes Kata again, dodging another kiss, as she does. And he respects it, of course. Like, okay, that's fine. And another thing is that after this, Melanie and Trinity have a conversation, and Melanie is telling Trinity about her conversation with Corey, and Trinity encourages Melanie and Corey to like try and continue exploring that, because Trinity says that she likes Bryce a lot, so she's just not gonna continue her relationship with Corey, and she does tell that to Corey. She's upfront with him about it. It's like, I really, like, you're like a swell man, but I really, have a strong connection with Bryce, and I just want to try and, connect with him, and blah, blah, blah. So he takes it really well, and he doesn't get upset because obviously he has a connection with Melanie, and he wants to explore that. Okay, yeah. And I feel so bad for Trinity and Bryce at this point, because they're both like in their heads about each other and about what the other person is doing in the villa. But like, it's literally day 2 in the with the Casa Amor, and they already know that even with meeting all these like new guys and girls, that they don't want anybody else and they just want to be with each other. And it just, I don't know, my heart, it just feels really happy for them, because I'm like, oh, they know what they want, and they don't get to be with each other right now. Anyways, so this episode was kind of long, but now there's the game with the temperature rising. They end up playing the game, and I believe the boys end up winning, and that is it the boys? I think it is the boys, and it was kind of, they did like this whole thing at the end that was really gross. So this is where we leave off this week's episodes. So as I said in the beginning, Casa Amor changes everything at that point right now, and I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen in these next coming weeks. So yeah, that was kind of a lot, but I really did like this week's episode, and I'm still just kind of like over the Melanie and Sincere relationship. Every time I just see them talking, like on the episode, like was it 14 or 15? It was just kind of like she keeps saying like, you need to prove to me. He's saying I will. He doesn't. It's just like a whole thing, and I'm just tired of that. And I just wish that she could see that it's like time to end this.
Hi everybody, I was still tuned in to Love Island on my road trip. I would find a way to watch that show while I was gone, even when the signal was spotty. So here go a few of my thoughts about things that happened. The heart rate challenge, I remember the girls being so excited that they got to, raise some heart rates. So they got all dressed up. The boys secretly got sent to Casa Amor, so that was crazy. Oh my god, I did not know what to expect. So they had this big giant gift. They sat and opened it, and it was a TV where the girls got to see everything the guys were doing, and oh my god, so crazy. The guys were going crazy. Literally, Casey and Corbin were like, forgot about Anaya and Kenzie, and literally Corbin was like, who's Kenzie? Like, what? So after that, the girls were all upset at what they were doing, because it's like Melanie, she was like, me and Sincere were just locked in. Girl, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, and everything that happened after that too, like, oh my god, I can't. So after that, the girls got introduced to 12 guys. Like, bruh, the producers really do not like these OG boys in the villa. So they got 12 guys to get to know and to choose. They chose only 6, so 1 for each girl. I was really, really hoping that some of these will work out. Like, for example, I really did want Melanie to choose Corey. I really wanted Anaya with Carl, but as we know, the recoupling came. Oh, first I want to talk about how Bryce was moving in the villa. I mean, in Casa Amor with that girl Alana. Like, I don't know if you all heard. I know a lot of people who are into Love Island know that she got removed because of racist comments, and I was just waiting for her to get removed because she was in like 2 more days after that scandal. So I was like, what is taking them so long? So she got removed.
But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment if you agree, if you disagree. Just anything, any of your like opinions, I really do want to know. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.